The Axe will move into position. He is playing up against the dual lane to begin with, as they are playing 2 versus 2 in the mid lane. As of yet, the Rubik is moving himself back and forth. He will rotate up to the top lane, as he did not see the Slaughter start up in the top lane. Or start up in the mid lane, that is. The Slaughter is also coming up top, so let's see the fighting happening. The Axe is going to be spun on. Heal Bomb comes out from the Dazzle. In the meantime, the Rubik does have a lift available. He needs to get a little bit closer, and they don't need the lift anyways. They will get the kill. Vansko will be the one finishing off the Axe, and this was what I was talking about. Like, regardless, you know, summoning those skeletons early so you get some more additional spins off, and this is, even though he doesn't have an Iron Talent, this means that he can actually jungle pretty quickly just because of the camps being perfect for him. The Invoker in the meantime in the mid lane gets lifted up by FNG's rotation, and he will be picked off as Iceberg will pop his, you know, level 2. Indeed, DK Phobos does have what it takes to get a lot of farm here. The PA is trying his very best to spam those daggers in the face of him. He doesn't have that magic stick completed just yet, so until that is up, he's not going to have an easy time dealing with that dagger spam. But once he buys the magic stick, which he will now, then, you know, he got pushed away from the lane. He's not really being pressured that much. He's still getting the farm that he requires, but we'll see now. Fourth minute mark has ticked in. The Nice Knockout makes some rotation to the mid lane, goes in, gets a jump on the Slaughter. The Slaughter gets taken down. The Invoker will be killed as well, as he tried to survive with that Ice Wall being put down, but not happening. And Iceberg will pick up both of those kills, so the mid lane are always getting the last hits on those heroes. That is 4 kills to Iceberg, and that means his Trial Boots is going to come online at a ridiculous rate. He doesn't have any points in March of the Machines right now, but I mean, if you can get kills repeatedly in your lane, then you just continue maxing your 2 first spells. As long as they give kills, you know, you're like, well, let's keep on going for it. He doesn't have enough mana to use both of his skill points, so FNG can't really set up for a kill here. They go in, they're trying to get a jump on the Rubik. They go for an Illuminate Blast as well, as they did have vision of this guy, so that using that Void, Skiter is going to be run down. He has another Void available in a second, so Skiter might be a little bit in trouble if he gets it off. Let's see, does he get it off? Void comes out, and that is a solo kill for DK Phobos, as to get a torn off, as he knows that the Night Stalker was invis somewhere around here, but he didn't quite get the jump. I mean, you don't have any detection here, so they just have to go for a wildcard jump. FNG in the meantime gets hit by an Illuminate Blast, does go for the lift on the Slaughter. Nighttime comes out from the Night Stalker. He tries to go on the Slaughter. The Slaughter is going to be focused down. Mana Leak comes out onto DK Phobos. Void comes out, but DK Phobos will be stunned up. He does not get the kill on the Slaughter. They got the Invoker first, but they will not get anyone else. As going in, they make sure that they at least get a 1 turnaround kill, but that is 4 versus 4 in the mid lane, and the only trade-off they got was the Rubik for the Invoker, so I'm sure that Team Spirit will be happy with that trade-off either way. The Juggernaut is going to pressure the top lane. In the meantime, Mikey moves into position, but you can't really go for Dire on this Jug, as the Jug is level 6, has a spin available. I guess you can go for it now as he's using his spin, but while I say this, Vansko getting a kill on that Keep of the Light with that 3rd point in his Poison Touch. So I guess this time it does pay off that he had that skill, and he will now be taken down by Mikey, following him down and making sure they get the kill. Well, still kind of worth it getting a solo kill on the Keep of the Light. And like I said, it's pretty interesting that you go for the 3 points and Poison Touch, but I guess in a game where Grave is going to be almost completely useless because you're playing against Axe, you might as well go for like a more fighting approached kind of build, and having that slow is, well, the slow is great. The slow is very strong, and now the PA in the bottom lane will be slowed up, will be controlled. They go for a Shadow Wave, but Iceberg is just going to have to run him down. Laser comes out, and the slow will do the trick. The Poison Touch will be the finishing touch on that guy, so Iceberg, he'll move himself down. Iceberg in the meantime TP down to this bottom lane, will go on DNC. DNC gets controlled. They have the laser as well as the missiles available. They will go for the missiles, they will go for the laser, and Iceberg will get another kill. That Poison Touch actually doing so much work, just keeping people slowed in the mid lane. We had BCC making a rotation, using his Omni Slash on the Invoker, finding a solo kill on him as well, and Team Spirit, they're just continuing to show that they are playing at a very, very different level from going in right now. Making sure that they know that. They feel the burn, they feel the pain. Vansko might be a little bit in trouble in the bottom lane. Will be jumped, goes for the grave, might be able to TP himself back home, but he actually goes, just tries to walk himself away, will heal up, will be alive, but finally gets hit by the Slaughter, and DK Phobos not quite able to save him. He does have an urn completed, now moving towards his threats next. Oh, DNC gets hit by a Void in the face, doesn't manage to get that crush off, and that is a dead Slaughter. Again, that Void damage, he's just running people down. Like, he's TPing to lanes, and he's chasing down people with a Tinker. Normally you see Tinker being one of the most pussy played heroes in the game, where you just sit back and let your team do everything and just shoot out a couple of missiles once in a while, but he is right next to the enemy team, and he will continue doing this the whole game as they get 2 more kills in the mid lane. The PS well just so he has a little bit more damage with his spells, because it doesn't really feel like the blink is necessary yet, but the blink is always a good item, so it will most likely be the item he goes for, but it just feels like you don't even need the blink right now. Like, you can get away with going for an item before the blink and still have the blink at a normal time. The Juggernaut will be hit by a little Illuminate Blast. They go for the Sun Trigger as well. BCC drops on very low, but they do have the heals available. They do have that medallion as well, so he will be fine for now. In the meantime, okay, Skitter goes in, gets a little crit off, and that is going to be a dead Rubik. 1-for-1 trade-off so far. The Slaughter got killed by DK Focus in the meantime. Looks like Skitter's going to be... And Roshan is still going to be the price that TeamSpirit wants to claim for themselves. We see the Axe going for a jump. He just finished up his blink, I believe, and that is the first initiation he gets off. That's a PA, so the steal is going to be successful. The Slaughter will be taken down, though. Mikey is going to be run down by DK Foes, will be killed as well. They lose Acronyms next, but you have so much fun with the Night Stalker that you feel like you might as well go for a red-click item before you go for the Acronyms. Just because if you have space for it, you might as well. Gives you a lot of work in the fight. Iceberg in the bottom lane might be a little bit in trouble. Gets graved up. He does have the Travel Boots on cooldown right now. Doesn't have enough mana to use his rearmy. They will go for the blink away in the meantime. Vanskull goes for his Poison Touch on this PA. Will go for a very, very big heal bomb. That PA will be killed easily. That damage from Vanskull, man, Jesus, that heal bomb with Medallion on top, obviously lowering after the dunk was attempted, so the Rubik will still be alive, might be taken off in the end, and indeed he will be killed. They do lose the Rubik, but they got the slot as well as the Axe before that happened. The P is going to be spun down by the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut will get a kill on the PA. That is a triple kill on the Jug. They go for Poison Touch on the Invoker as well. He gets stunned up by that Poison Touch. The mini stun. Vanska goes and gets another Poison Touch off. And Blazemon is just not moving anywhere. He keeps getting stunned. He keeps getting control. They don't have vision of him. GG will play. Gets call is going in. They're just saying, this is too much, man. This is too much. The Invoker will even die trying to move up to the high ground. That Poison Touch, man. Low cooldown and just spamming it left, right, and center. Vanska will lose a lot of work on that Dazzle this game. And yeah, well, I mean, tapping out at the moment from going in, maybe a little bit early to do that, but it's very clear that TeamSpirit, this series, they just played on a completely different level from going in, and there was just nothing they could do. TeamSpirit, man. Strong players. Look.